Not sure how I'd fare in a little...
Bardo Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
To the cavern.
Who lived here, I wonder?
Up, up, and away.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Horklump. In we go. I suppose we'll probably find some spiders in.
Still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more Horklumps while I'm there. Better have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters. That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio!
Wait. Wait, there's more. I can't even jump up there without punching the spray that first. Okay.
Confringo!
And down it goes. Easy peasy. Not too easy. Yes.
Lumos.
There we go.
Glacius. Confringo.
Staring at me right now. Ricky?
No. seem to find spiders. There. Flappy, flappy.
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Confringo! Glacius!
Oh, that's not quite what I wanted to do.
Protego! Stupid! Confringo! Confringo! Stupid! Glacius! Confringo! Protego! Stupid!
Circle's closed.
Glacius!
Always dodge twice with trolls.
Confringo! Glacius! Protego!
And that
That was a close one.
was close. Ow. Oh no, brown cow.
Revelio. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
Maybe I didn't hit it correctly.
Glacius.
Oh.
Confringo.
There. Fuck you. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I have a feeling. Here's Serona. I arrived here, troubling sense that in many ways I wasn't like first years. I confess I worried that Hogwarts might not have been the proper place for me, and wondered sending an owl to my parents, asking them to fetch me almost before the first week of class had ended. How did you know? I presume you're not secretly a human. I wonder that you know my thoughts. That day in the Three Broomsticks when you spotted me huddled in a corner, staring blankly at an untouched butterbeer, bit of parchment, quill dripping ink woefully onto the floor, came to sit with me. Well, I shall never forget it. I recall a sudden sense of relief as if someone had cast a levitation charm on me. When you told me about how nervous you'd been come to Hogwarts, I looked at you and it seemed beyond my imagination to think of you as anything but the confident, contented witch sitting before me. In the days that followed, I marveled at how you charmed in the non-magical sense. I mean, everyone around you without apology, embracing who you were and who they were. It was as though a candle had flickered on. I realized that I could choose that path as well. Now that my school years are ending, frightened first-year witch I had been seemed worlds away. And I know it's because you saw yourself in that despairing creature in the corner of the pub, so generously extended yourself to her. Yours sincerely, Maribel. P.S. Please tell Mrs. Sprottle that I still plan on visiting her and Mr. Sprottle whenever I can for their delightful conversation and, I am unashamed to admit, her incomparable cauldron. Splendid. Another letter. Dear Serona, I've sent a note separately. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle for their hospitality, but I felt the need to put quill to parchment with my thanks to you as well. What a lovely respite from the castle. I won't soon forget how we giggled about that ridiculous gnome. Did he truly believe that he was singing? and Mrs. Sprottle's steak and kidney pie was simply glorious. I shall be dreaming of it for days. I so appreciate you including me. I fear I must warn you, however, that this does not mean I will go easy on you in the next week's match. You know that Ravenclaw is no match at all for Slytherin this year. Most gratefully yours, Philomena.
This must be Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, another letter. Dear Sirona, happy birthday, my darling friend. I sneaked into the kitchens and asked Pinky to make your favorite cream crowdy. She was delighted to oblige. Not sure where she got raspberries at the time of year. Genius then. Yes. And a couple more letters. Dear Mrs. Sprottle, Mother and Father were delighted to hear that you and I had spent the afternoon at Gladrags last Saturday. Truth be told, I think my mother was ever so slightly envious. I shan't soon forget how heartily we laughed at my efforts to lace the bodice my new dress. A challenge indeed, as is the rather delicate practice of properly situating a hat pin without wounding either my hat or my head. But I adore everything that we selected, and I have you to thank for now feeling like a marvelously fashionable witch. It was also a treat to dine with the 3 broomsticks without having to clear the tables. I shall own a place like that one day, or mark my words. I consider myself more than lucky that you and Mr. Sprottle agreed to let me stay. I know that my parents feel precisely the same way. Yours gratefully, Sirona. I think I flubbed that up a little bit, but no worries. Got some letters. We only got 4 of the 5 letters. There we go.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona.
Dear Sirona,
She'll be glad to have it
this
back.
Gift for you as a token of my gratitude. I haven't stood your ground on my behalf during Quidditch practice last week. I might have left the team altogether. Now we've won the Quidditch Cup. Ravenclaw House would not be the same without you. Yours sincerely.
I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
Okay. And here we go. I take this back to Sirona. Probably a quick stop first. Turn the box. Let's go this way. Go. I could probably quick travel just as easily. This is much more beautiful. As we enjoy the surrounding country. Whoop! We can't travel in there. Okay, I guess we'll just have to get off our broomstick and trounce on into town. There we go. Bring the box of letters to Sirona. That completes this quest. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any other quests you'd like to see done. And very easily create a video on whatever quest you need. Again, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. If there's any videos you'd like to see me create. I'm gonna send to Sirona, see what she says.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Horklumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
Yeah. Why not? Let's ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard, I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends.
Professor
I know
Garlick.
she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but
Such a good
particularly
job.
one who doubted they ever would.
Freeze. Throttle.
I spotted a letter from you
Of
to Mrs.
course.
Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
Need help.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
And that beats friend. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe.
Folks still talk about you taking down that troll in the village circle. You certainly made an impression.
Yes, indeedy. Sure did.